All right, guys, welcome to your Chapter 8 Super Ridiculousness Chapter 8 test review, okay? This will help you guys out with your test, and again, if you're watching this and if you're copying this stuff down, then that's because you are serious about getting a good grade on your test on Monday after a nice little weekend, but you're really committed to getting a good grade, so I'm glad you're actually here. I'm glad you're ready to see the video, okay? Again, as we go through the video, what I'm going to recommend is that you maybe try to do it on your own first. That's the best way to study. Try to do it on your own, and then if you don't understand it, then hit play and see how it's done, and maybe pause it and say, oh, I can go from here. I can finish it off myself. Then do that. So try to get the best out of this, guys, rather than just kind of copying what you see on the video, right? So try your best to kind of do that, because that's the only way you're going to get better at this, okay? So remember, there's no one going to be helping you on the state test, so you're better off trying to do this on your own too, okay? Here's our first one. Number 1, factor completely. Every single problem is going to be saying factor completely, okay? Guess what we have here? You have something that looks like they have a like. I don't know if you guys can tell what's a like here between this whole chunk right here. I should probably put this in front. Let me do this order. Between this whole chunk right here and this whole chunk right here, there's something alike, and hopefully you saw it already. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it for you differently color. Look at that right there, the x plus 7 and the x plus 7. So because those two are alike, this one and this one, you can take those out, take them out, and take this one out, and write it by themselves over here. Write it just one time, though. Okay, remember we did this in, I think it was section 8.2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this out, take this one out, and all I'm going to do is write it once, x plus 7. Okay, now when I take those out, what do I end up with? Because look, watch. Imagine me just taking this out and rewriting it once, taking this out and writing it once. Well, look what you end up with. You end up with a 6x minus 4. And that's actually going to go on its own over here on this side, okay? So let me redo that. So all I'm going to do is write 6x minus 4. Now this one's pretty much done, okay? But there's actually, well, it turns out there's something else we can do with this one. But normally on a test, this is where they'll stop. This is all you'll have to do. You'll have to see, and then you'll see if this answer matches your problem. But remember back to that, all those questions I usually ask you, and I usually ask you, can you take anything out? And look at this one. Well, you can't take anything out of these two. What about this one? This is really neat because we didn't actually do this problem in class at all. But look at this one. Can you take anything out of these two numbers? Out of a 6 and a negative 4? And I hope you're saying, yeah, you can take out a 2 probably. So what if we were to take out a 2 out of these two only? And where would you put it though? Actually, I would put it right in here, in between here if you want. Or you can maybe move this whole thing to the very front and put it at the front. Okay, let's try to do that actually. So this is a good answer right here, but there's one more step we can actually do. Let's go ahead and take out maybe a 2. So I'm going to just take out, I'm going to put it right here. Take out a 2. So if I take out a 2 out of this one, remember you always want to check to see if you can take stuff out or if you can keep factoring. And sometimes that's just what happens. So this one's done, and then I still have this one right here, x plus 7. So that's an answer. But the only thing, like in a test, they usually want to put the part that has this part right here, they might want to put this first, or they'll put the 2 at the very beginning also. But I'm going to go ahead and move this whole thing to the front, and I'm going to put this in the second, okay? So your answer would be 2 parentheses 3x minus 2 and x plus 7. This is it, factor. That's the answer for it, completely factored, okay? This whole thing that you see right there. Okay, that's the final answer. So first thing again, I said, what can I take out of them? And I took out the x plus 7, and I wrote it by itself, which was right here. And then I rewrote what was left, 6x minus 4, which was from the 6x right here, and the minus 4 right here, and I wrote it down right here. And then I said, well, I'm not done actually. Sometimes I am done right here in this step. Sometimes that is the step where you kind of finish. But we saw over here that, wait a minute, you can take something out of the 6 and the 4. And so you have to do that. Take something out of it. And I got a 2. And then I ended up with this answer. Okay? That's problem number 1. All right. Problem number 2 right here. Ready to go? This one's a shortcut one. Oh my goodness. So if you're really good at shortcut problems, or I call them shortcut problems. The book is going to call them difference of two squares, okay? So that's the right word to use. Difference of two squares. But if you know that there's shortcut problems, then just write a shortcut problem. That's what this is. If you're really good at shortcut problems, then you're already writing down your answer. You know that it's going to be two parentheses with A, and the 81 gets broken up because it's the square root of 81 is 9. Okay, so then you write your answer. Now, if you forgot how to do shortcuts, then do it the long way. And the long way is to do the x. And the reason I'm doing the x for this is because right here, there's no like number here. Like there's no like a 2 or a 4 or a 5 or a 6. So because there's no number here other than 1, I get to use just the x. Okay, so I'm going to use just the x. And I'm going to write negative 81 on top because that's the last number. And remember, on the bottom of the x goes the middle number. But look, there's no middle number here. So you should know already to write down a 0 right there. So I'm going to put a 0. And what two numbers get me 81 when I multiply them, but add to 0 when they add them? That's going to be negative 9 and plus 9, because those two add together to get 0, and I also multiply to get negative 81. So write your answer. A minus, oh, I was going to write an 8. A minus 9, that's one parentheses, and the other one, A plus 9. Okay, that's the other one. Done. That's it. This one was an easy one. Okay, hopefully you're really good at shortcut problems. If not, you can look at that review sheet I gave you, where the backside had 3 columns of all the different types of shortcut problems that you guys saw. Okay, number 3. There's my hand flying up and down. Number 3. All right, you have 12x cubed plus 30x squared. Now, first thing I'm always asking myself in my head is, can I take anything out first? Can I take anything out of the 12 and the 30? And can I take anything from the x's? This one has 3 of them, and this one has 2 of them. So hopefully you're thinking, yes, Ms. Well, we can take something out. We can take something out of the 12 and the 30. What's the biggest number you can take out of the 12 and the 30? And hopefully you're thinking, well, if you're thinking a 2, then think a little bit bigger. 6 would be the biggest number. And how many x's can we take out of this thing? Well, there's 3 on this one and 2 on that one. So you can take out a maximum of 2 of them. Okay, now let's rewrite the inside. Okay, we're going to do inside. 6 times something is 12. That's going to be a 2. And then 2 x's plus something is going to be 3 of them. Hopefully you know, you're saying, okay, Ms. Paul, it's going to be a 2x and just 1, right? So I'm just going to leave it like that. Or you can put a little imaginary 1. But I usually like to just keep it like that. Okay, the next part, 6 times something is 30. Well, it's going to be plus 5. And how many x's do I need? I have 2 right here, and I need only 2. So if you were to add another x right here, you'd actually have a wrong answer, because if you add another x, when you combine this 1 right here and this 2 right there, that's going to be 3, and I don't want 3, I just want 2. So because you only need 2, you don't really need that there. That's the answer. Well, let me see. Before I stop here, is there anything else you can do with these in here? Well, they don't have a little squared here, so I can't do the x box or the x. And they don't have any numbers in common anymore. That's it. You're done. That's the answer. Okay. Number 4. Cuatro, cuatro, cuatro. All right, for number 4. Let's see, what do you guys notice here? Well, first question always. First question, what am I always going to ask myself? Can I take anything out? That's the first thing you want to ask yourself. And if no, then move on. Then say, okay, well, I can't take anything out. And this one I can't. Look, that's an 8, that's a 10, that's a 7. There's no number in common. So what about the a's? Actually, you know what I forgot here, guys? I'm sorry. A little 2 there, okay? All right, so I have 8a squared minus 10a minus 7. All right, so nothing can factor out of these. Okay, so next step is, do I use the x or the x box? That's the big question. Do I use the x or the x box? Remember, let me write myself a little note here. I use the x only if it looks like this. Let's say, let me give you a quick example. Like that. Like if it has no number in front of the x, then you just use the x only. And when do you use the x box? I know you remember this. When do you use the x box? Well, that's when you have like a number in front of the x squared. Okay? I'm just making up a problem here, guys. I'm sure this isn't even right. So when you have a number in front of the x squared, you use the x and then do the box. So that means that you have to do the umbrella. You have to put those two numbers on top, find out what the numbers are here, fill in the box, and do all that, okay? So do I use the x box or the x? And hopefully you're saying the x box. So let's do the x box. I'm going to start by doing my umbrella and fill in my x. So 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. Over, the bottom number is the middle number, negative 10. Now I need to find the factors here. Well, 7 times 8, that won't work. And this one actually happens to be a 10. I'm sorry, not a 10. That's a horrible answer. What are the factors here, guys? 4 is one of them, that's for sure. I'm giving you that one. 4 times 14. Yeah, you actually have to work this one out. So you have to kind of play around with the numbers and see until they get you. And if you don't know them, then remember you could always do one of these factor trees and do it the long way. And then keep going, and then, okay, that's 2 and 4. And then you say, wait, that's 7, 7, 2, and maybe if I do 7 times, 14 times 4, you know, and see how you see all the combinations there? That's how you can do it if you don't know how to get the numbers. Okay, so let's finish this up. It's 4 and 14, but I need to make one of them negative. There you go, negative 14, negative 14, okay? So you should have negative 14. Okay, that one's done. Now let's fill in the box. And I'm going to put remember the top left box, this one right here, you always put the 8. And this one down here, you put the negative 7. Okay, let's do that. 8, negative 7. And then I put my two answers that I found. Right here, the 14 and the 4. Those go anywhere you want right here, okay? Let me put those in. 4 and negative 14. Okay? Now, you can put those anywhere. Remember, it's up to you where you want to put these two. It does not matter. So it's just a matter of, maybe I like to put these two together because it looks like these two have more in common. Okay? But it doesn't matter. Okay, 8 and 4. What can I divide the 8 and the 4 by? You said, oh, 4. I'm going to put the 4 right there. 4 times something is 8. So remember, you're doing this. 4 times something is 8. That's going to be a 2. And then 4 times something is 4. 1. 2 times, here's what I'm doing. 2 times something is negative 14. Oh, that's going to be negative 7. And then let me check the last one. Negative 7 times 1, negative 7. Good, that works. Now your answer is right here. 4a, we're using a's, okay? These are a's, not x's. 4a minus 7 and 2a plus 1. Okay, you write that answer. I'm going to write it down here. 4a minus 7, and it doesn't matter what order you put in. You can put the other one first if you want. 2a plus 1. Done. That's it. There's your answer. Next one. Oh, I made a big boo-boo here, didn't I? Mistake. I'm going to use an a right there. There we go. A squared minus 14a plus 49. All right, you tell me, am I using the x only, or do I use the x and the box? Which one do I use, guys? Let's move this over here so we can see this guy. Let me put this in order. Okay, there's no number in front of here, so you only have to use the x only. Okay, so let's use the x. And I hope some of you are thinking, hey, Mr. Puebla, guess what? This is actually a shortcut problem. I don't know if you noticed it, but it is. So I'm going to put a 49 and negative 14 down here. And then 49, let's see, 49, how can I break up 49? Hopefully you're thinking 7 and 7. Now I need to make it a negative down here. So you make them both negatives. And that's it. So your answer is a minus 7 and a minus 7. Now, if you're good, you're going to write this. You can also write it in parentheses with squared. So it could be either one of these, okay? Either one of these are answers. Either this top one or the bottom one. Again, I would try to do the problem on your own, then hit play. If you got the right answer, then that's it. Good. You're done, okay? If you can do that way, believe me, you're going to get more out of this tutorial than just copying, okay? So this one's done. If you noticed it, though, I don't know if some of you guys did. I'm sure some of you did. These are shortcut problems. Look, this is a 1 right here, and square root of 1 is 1, so really it's just a. And then this one's a perfect square root of 49. It's 7. So you could have written the answer right away. You could have put a7. Okay, but the only thing you need to remember is this minus sign right here and the minus sign right there. So if you're going to get stuck and confused with that, remembering what to put, then do it the long way, just to be safe, okay? And the long way really didn't take us that much time. This was pretty quick. Oh, this looks humongously long and large. Let's try and get rid of it, though. Okay, so question number 6. 4x cubed minus 2x squared minus 36x minus 18. So go ahead and try to pause this, copy it, pause it, and see if you can do it on your own. I'm going to give you a big clue here. You're going to want to probably use what I was telling you in class to do is like grouping. You want to probably group this. And because you can't take something out of the whole, actually, you know what? You can take something out of everything. You can take out of 2 if you're smart. But you could also just kind of do 2 at a time. We can actually take something out of maybe these 2 right here. And then maybe take something out of these 2 right here, okay? So why don't we do that? Why don't we try taking something out of these 2 first, and then try to take something out of these 2 over here. Okay, let's start with these 2 right here, the 4 and the 2. What can I take out of those 2? Hopefully you said a 2. And how many x's can I take out of those? There's 3 here, and there's 2 there. Hopefully you said you can take out 2 of the maximum, so I'm going to take out 2. Okay, parentheses, what's going to be inside? 2 times something is 4. 2. x2 and something is x3. Well, I got to add one more x. 2x times something is 2. Well, 2 times something is 2. Well, 2 times a number, like 1. I could put a 1 right there. Minus 1 because I got to use a minus 1 because there's a minus right there, so it should be minus right there. And do I need to add more x's? There's 2 here, and there's 2 up there, so do I need to add another one to make 3? No, I don't need that. So that's it. That one's done. Now what about this one here? What can you take out of this and this? 36 and 18. If you're thinking like a 2, well, yeah, you're right, but you can take out more. What's the biggest number possible? What if you take out a 6? Well, you can. Think even bigger. How about 18? We can take out 18, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out a negative. We can try to take out a negative, see if it works. Let's see if that works for us. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm thinking I probably did a problem wrong here or something. Let me see if what I got for this problem. This is number 6. Okay, so let's take out a negative 18. Let's try that. And then negative 18 times something, that's going to be a 2. That's going to be negative 36. And an x. And, oh, you know what I did, guys? I'm sorry, I apologize. There's just one little error here. I wrote down the problem wrong. This should be a plus. Can you guys make sure this is a plus right here for me, please? Put a plus right here, and then also change this to a plus, okay? I made a little mistake when I was doing this. That should be a plus. So I made an error when I was copying the problem down, okay? That should be plus, that should be plus. All right, now let's get it over here. Negative 18 times 2x is negative 36. That works. Negative 18 times something is negative 18. Well, if I put a minus 1, that's going to make it positive. I don't want positive 18. I want negative 18. So I'm going to do a plus 1. Okay? All right, almost done. Look at this. This part right here and this part right here look the same. right? This 2x and this 2x plus 1 are the same. Remember taking the stuff out like we did in the earlier problem? I want you to take this and pull it out of there. So you should have 2x plus 1, done, yes. And then what's left over? 2x squared minus 18. All right, almost done. Oh, but I see a problem here. I see a lot of things we could still do. This is going to be one of those long problems, okay? Be ready for it. Let me move everything up here, see if I can get things up. Okay, here's the next step. Look at these two. Oh, you got to take something out of this one. What can you take out of here? A 2 and an 18. What can you take out of those two things? Hopefully you're thinking, oh, I can take out a 2. So let's take out a 2 and put it right here in the middle, okay? Let's take out a 2, and let me rewrite the inside. 2 times something is x squared. X squared. 2 times something is negative 18. What would that be? Negative 9. Okay. And hold on, let me write what's left over. Let me write my 2x plus 1 also. Okay, I'm not done. Yep, you heard it. We're not done yet. Guess what you're going to have to do here? It says x squared minus 9. This is a difference of two squares. This can be still factored even one more time. Guess what you can use for this right here? Do I need to use the x box, the x factor, I'm sorry, just the x, or maybe take something out? Well, I already took something out. So let me give you a big clue. Do you use the x or the x box? Hopefully you're thinking x. Or if you're really good, then you're thinking, Miss Puebla, we can do a shortcut for that one. That's a shortcut. That's a difference of two squares. So what we're going to do is, let's see, negative 3 and plus 3. Okay, that's done. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get 2 parentheses. Remember, don't forget about this. The 2, x minus 3, and x plus 3. Oh, yeah, and this 2, right? 2x plus 1. Okay, that's your answer. It was a long problem, but you know what? There's one little thing, though, I don't like. Okay? The one thing I don't like is that this 2 is in the middle here, and it's like right there. You usually want to put this 2 in the very front. Okay? So I would probably do that. Let's rewrite it. We'll put the 2 in the front. And then write everything else. Now, it doesn't matter where you put all these parentheses here. You can put this one last, you can put this one first, you can put this one second, you can put this one, it doesn't matter. These could all be out of order. But as long as each one has their own parentheses, okay? And the 2, just put the 2 in the very front. This is a complete answer, okay? And you will see something like that on the test. This is a long one, so you got to be really good and careful with it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is number 6. And again, if you need to pause the video so you can write down the steps. Try to do it on your own. Maybe you can do it again on a different paper and see what you get. Okay, number 7. Do you remember how I told you in class that I don't really like to have these a squares or whatever has the biggest power? I don't like to have it at the end. I like to have these things in the front. So let's move it to the front side. Do you see what happened? I hope you didn't put the minus sign into 20. Okay? This minus sign right here goes with the 5. So wherever I put the 5, I need to make sure I have the minus sign in front of it. Okay? And the 20, well, the 20 was a plus. This is positive. So I want to make sure I tell people that this is positive by putting a plus. All right. Next step. I always ask you, can you take something out? Yeah, you can. You can take something out. 5 and 20, what can you divide those two by? Hopefully you're thinking 5. 5 is right. Okay, I'm going to take out a 5. But look, this is a negative 5 here. I usually, if there's a negative in front of this a squared, I usually like to take it out. Okay, so I'll take out a negative 5. Negative 5 times that is that. Yes, that works. Negative 5 times something is positive 20. Negative 4. Okay, we're not done. What does this look like in here? Do you think we're done with this? Hopefully you're saying no, because you actually have to do a factor of this. We're going to do the x only because it has no number right here. So you can do the x only here. You don't need an x box, just do the x. Or if you're really good, you can do the shortcut, but I don't know if you are that good. If you're good, then you already saw that you can do a shortcut for that one. I'm going to put -4 and a 0 on the bottom because there's no middle term, right? There's nothing here in the middle, so that's a 0, but I have a -4 though, that goes on top. Okay, now we're going to do my two factors. 2 plus 2 and -2. Okay, that's done. Now I write my final answer. -5, then I was going to write a squared. A plus 2, a minus 2. And I'm done. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. I am hitting the wrong stuff here. All right, sorry about that brief little glitch. Okay, let's go to number 8. X squared plus 12x plus 36. Oh, this looks like an easy one. I hope you guys are seeing that you can do I need to use the x or the x box? Hopefully you're seeing you got to use the x only because there's no number right here, so you can use the x only. Let's use the x only. Oh, this is an easy one. 6 and 6, those work. Now, did anyone figure out that you can do the shortcut for this one because the beginning and the end are both perfect squares? I hope you saw that you could have done the answer right away. Some of you guys are getting really good at these. So you do, let's see, 2 of them, so you can do this, or you can write it this way. This was an easy problem. Done. Okay, although usually on the test, they might show it to you both ways. They might show it this way or this way. Okay, super easy. Next one. Oh, snap. 2 variables. Look, this one has an x and a y. Look at that y right there. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. Let me ask this. First thing, can you take something out of this? 2, 20, 50. What can you take out? I'm going to take out a 2. Okay, 2 times something is x squared. X squared. 2 times something is 20 minus 10. And what do I need to put here? X and a y. Make sure you bring down both of those. 2 times something is 50. That's going to be 25. And don't forget your y squared. Okay, that goes there. All right, this one's looking good. Look at the inside. Okay, you can use the x or the x box for this one. There's no number right here, so guess what you're going to use? Hopefully you said x only, so I'm going to use the x. Let's see, 25 on top and -10 on the bottom. What 2 numbers give me that? -5 and -5. Okay, so I'm going to write my answer now. Let me move this out of the way. Let me move this little triangle, this x box, x out of the way. Not x box, just x, and put it up here. Okay, so my final answer is 2 parentheses. Now here's the tricky part. Okay, I'm going to do x minus 5, little space right there, and x minus 5. Why do you think I'm leaving a little space right after the 5? Why do you think I got to put a little space there? Right here and right here. Because what happens when you do, look, when I FOIL and I do first, inside, outside, and then last, the outer, -5 times -5 is plus 25. That works, but then I need to put the y's right here also. Because look, there's y's right here. I need to put a y right here and a y right here, okay? Y, y. And that's it, done. Okay, when you FOIL those parentheses, you'll get that combination, the XY combination, because there's 2 variables in there. Okay, that's the only little trick. All right, last one. Ooh, this looks like there's a ton of stuff you can take out. Remember, that's the first thing you want to do. Can you take something out? So we're going to do that right now. Let's take out a Let's see, I got a 4, 4, and 24. I'm going to take out a 4. How about the ace? Got 4 there, 3 there, 2 there. I'm going to take out 2 of them. Okay, let's do that. This one I'm going to go kind of faster, guys, okay? So you're going to want to do is maybe pause it and try to do it on your own, please. Okay, that'd be the best way to practice this. Okay, that's done. Next thing, let's see. I got to do the X or the Xbox for the inside. What do you think? X or Xbox? I'm going to do just the X. You only need to do the X. So let's see. I'm going to put -6 on top. And on the bottom, -1. Because look, there's a -1a right there. Okay, you got that. Let's see. I can use a 3 plus 3 and then -2. Will that work? If I add those, I'm going to get +1. No, Mr. Polo, you're doing it wrong. That should be a, what are you guys thinking? +2 and then -3. There you go. That's going to work. Okay, we're pretty much done. 4a squared, and write your 2 answers. A plus 2, a minus 3. And done. All right, guys, that's it. We are absolutely done. 10 problems, okay? You guys did amazing if you hung in there. Hopefully you did some of the problems on your own and you did it and you felt really comfortable. Okay, remember, bring this paper and make sure, please, make sure that you are signing. Get your parents or guardians to sign that little piece of paper at the bottom. There's a little little area for them to sign. So they're going to sign off for you, and you put your name at the top of the little purple paper. My name, your name, I'm sorry, your name, okay? Your name. And there's a writing, blah, 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 blah. Staple that, or you can staple it when you get to class, to your work, okay? Hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully you're ready for your test, okay? Good luck, guys, and I'll see you on Monday. That's it.